Todd musters up courage to finally speak to Jessica. He's so excited and he walks up to her and he completely embarrasses himself. Todd, what are you doing? I told her everything about me and everything that I do in a day. Isn't that what I'm supposed to tell her? Jessica lost interest in Todd as soon as he said his daily routines. The attraction was gone, the mystery vanished. You might have had things happen to you just like the example I provided, and it's not even uncommon these days. Too many men are being rejected for acting too feminine in front of women and female presence. I remember talking to this one girl at like a birthday. It was a party and she showed interest in me, and she even initiated to talk, and I blew it away because I didn't know how to talk to women. It was awkward as shit. The truth about obsession and talking to girls, to have someone obsessed with you is to essentially make them think about you. Obviously you want your girl to think about you 24/7. Like, it does sound kind of stupid and a bit self-serving, but in all truth you kind of like this, don't you? Let's say you text a girl, you send a message, she sends one back, and then you send, and then you come back home from gym, I don't know, like she sent a message, then you answer, and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, she isn't responding. And then you start asking yourself, like, why isn't she saying anything? You panic, and then you send like a message, like you double text her, you send like a message, and then after like 20, 30 minutes, you send another one. Oh my god, sorry if I was like annoying or straightforward, like did I do something wrong or shit? And she's like, she responds to you and she says like, no, you did nothing wrong. Like, I was just, I don't know, brushing my hair or drying my hair or something like that. And then boom, you're instantly getting closer and closer to Todd, and the attraction and the mysteries slowly vanishing, pushing her away on your own. I also am gonna say this down the line in the video, because you need to be busy. At least if you're not busy, at least act like you're busy. Stop counting time. Like, if somebody sends you a message and then you're counting time, like, oh, they send it after 15 minutes and then I'm gonna wait like 40 and then I'm gonna reply. Like, that's stupid. Like, girls are sensitive to this, and 100% they're gonna realize when you're doing this or when you're acting like all needy and shit like that. Then they're gonna see the true man that you are, like you're just pretending to be something else. So I made a few rules that I kind of stick to when it comes to talking to women, and so basically the first one would be to be busy, to do something important in your life. Basically, women, they love the masculine absence. In today's age, 95% of young men are too feminized because the social media of porn or jerking off and all that. Basically, women aren't attracted to men who instantly reply to their messages as well, or men who seek attention, or men who are constantly present and always available and never doing something. They get bored and then repulsed. They just stop texting you. She responds to you after 15 minutes. I'm not saying like you need to like wait for 30 to respond back. Like, just be natural. Just sometimes act like you're busy if you're not. Like, if you're at the gym, if you're doing something important for your business or shit, you're obviously gonna keep your phone on do not disturb, and you're not going to answer anybody. They will call you if they need you, and then you might answer, but you'll leave your phone on the side and just leave it there for a couple hours, and then you're gonna review some messages, answer some and leave some. When somebody texts you and you instantly respond to them every time, becomes very boring, and she claims this power over you, and then you're cooked. Basically, when you talk too much to the woman, text her too much, when you're texting her every day, you focus on her, and then she can never focus on you, because you need to stay on the masculine side and to focus on your goals, while the woman's job is to seduce and focus on the man that she likes, while the man is supposed to focus on the goals and on his work, job, business, whatever. On the second rule I have is that don't be afraid to talk to other women. While you're focusing on goals, while you're building muscle, while you're making money, you also can't forget about your social skills. Obviously, all the muscles are gonna help you attract females, and all the money is gonna make it easier, but even if you have all of this, you can't just walk up to a woman and be a complete idiot and then she's gonna turn around even though you have six-pack. The money is the tool that can attract you a woman that is possibly a gold digger, and also muscles can attract a woman who is also low quality, like a hoe or something, like that's just like a one night stand or something like that. When you are socially active and when you are socially capable, you have good social skills and good mental health. When you go through all that rigorous training and all the money making and all the business and the stress, all of that is going to make you a man good quality women will like, not because of the muscles, not because of the money. Also, those things do come in play, but mostly because of the man that you are and that you became, because of that process. So therefore you need to also know how to speak to women. So when you go, like, it's fine to talk to women and get used to talking to women, to understand how women act, how they react to certain things, and to know what to say in certain situations, and when to just not answer some stupid ass questions that they always ask. It's not enough to be like a nerd who makes, I don't know, 200k or 100k a year, and it's not enough to be like a muscle brute who's broke. You need to do everything. Like nowadays you have to do everything to attract quality woman. Even though like back in the day it was much easier, it's just a standard that is changing. And with all of this social media and shit, like girls go on Instagram, on TikTok, and they see like muscular dudes, and they see like all these hot other women, and then they have their own standards set so high that they're really like, they're not realistic. And then when you see all those videos when people are going up to random girls on the street that look like hoes in like short skirts or something, and they ask them, you know, how much do you want your man to make, I don't know, and they're like, I don't know, 5 million a year, which is fucking stupid. Focus on the work and also talk to women. You don't have to like, don't focus on women, just talk to them. Send a message, you know, every few days and respond to her message and say something, or go on a date, I don't know, go outside with a girl like once a week. The third rule I would say is really important, and it's to stay mysterious. So always keep like a fog of mystery around you. So women love chase games, right? Us guys, we're supposed to be more masculine, stoic, rock cold and shit like that, while women are all about love and feelings. Women fantasize a lot. The more you're mysterious to them, the more they do not know about you, the more they're gonna fantasize. Even though it sounds stupid, but the time you spend away from your woman can actually make your progress with her like jump up 50% more than if you were talking to her constantly. So basically all that time away is gonna give her time to fantasize and think about you or shit like that. But if you're mysterious enough, like if you tell them all about you, like the mystery is gone, chase is over, and she's already bored and on to another dude. Also, if you are too friendly with a woman, if you are too friendly and you tell her everything, I don't know, like I came from school today, I went to the gym, did this, everyday routine, is gonna be too friendly, and like she's gonna take you as a friend, and then you'll never get rid of that friend zone. Even if she asks you like these boring ass questions at the start, like I don't know, like, hey, how many brothers or sisters you have? Obviously you can answer some of these, you know, some of these questions, but I know it sounds stupid, but like sometimes when she asks you like these stupid ass questions, like it doesn't matter, anything like stupid, like how many of this do you have, just don't reply for a few hours, and then just ask like, hey, you want to get coffee tomorrow or something. Like just completely ignore the thing, like completely ignore it. Like it sounds stupid, but try this. Like try other things on like ugly women, and then figure out what works. And then you need to train. It's like going to the gym, like go talk to the ugly girl, and then in like a month you're gonna talk to the girl who is like, I don't know, like one rating more beautiful than her, and then just keep upgrading, keep upgrading, and then just practice talking to women. Like basically, I remember I talked to a girl, like at the start of the conversations it was always like, it's always good and cool and everything and nice, and there's sexual tension, but once down the line when I start spewing shit, like when I start talking too much, I've realized every time they just completely shut off and they just leave. Like when you seek attention, when you're always present, when you talk too much, when you say too many things about you, it's so unattractive to them, and they just completely stop and leave. So the rule number 4 I would say is to get in shape. Your looks are your first and the best weapon that you have. When I say weightlifting, it's not only to make you look good, it's also a good habit that will make you work hard and get the feeling of working for something. And also you will meet people with the same goal. You'll talk to people at the gym, maybe approach a girl or two, like a cold approach. Also don't always listen to music when you go to gym. I see a lot of people like going to the gym, all these anxious people, and they just put like their earphones and they're just working out. Like it's kind of weird when you look from the other perspective. When you go into the gym and you're like, I don't know, you say hi to a few guys, you dap up, then you say hi to a girl or something, and then you speak to them for like a 5-minute period, and then you go and change, and then you do the workout. And that, imagine how much more confident you will be, and how much more socially active you will be in that type of scenario at a gym. Like it doesn't have to be many people, like 10, 15, even 3 people that you know. You can just say hi to them and then do your workout. Rule number 5 is to pursue the goal, not the woman. Imagine 2 couples. So basically, two couples. First couple is where the man is more feminine than he should be, and he's the one focusing on his woman, on romance, and she is kind of the boss. She's focused on work. She has to take care of everything. Imagine they go into a restaurant and she's the one leading his hand and he's following her like a dog, and then she's getting all the reservations, like he's following her like a kid. She's paying for everything. Imagine how depolarized they are. Imagine how unhappy they are. Imagine how unnatural this feels for both of them, for basically him and the woman. You realize, like, if you were in a relationship like this, you would feel like shit because you are not taking care of your manly duties, and the woman has to take care of your duties that you should take care of. So basically, she feels like she has to take over for you, and she's a woman. She's easily, like, she has to be a woman in the world of men. That is fucking crazy. Like, if a woman is supposed to be the man of the house, that's impossible because she's gonna crumble down in the competition of other men. She's supposed to compete with men. That's not fair. Now imagine the second couple where the guy is focused on his goals, his purpose, and he's pursuing them. He's kind of like a colder guy, and he's a bit more masculine. He exercises, he socializes with a lot of people. He has his peers he does business with. He takes care of his manly duties and of his woman and his family. His woman will be so much more polarized and so much more feminine, and she will take care of her feminine duties. She will always like give this a radiant energy like of femininity, and then every time when you come from work, when you come from the gym, when you come from being stressed and you get home, and then there's your woman, and then you're immediately happy because she is happy and she's like feminine and she's gonna help you with that energy of hers. And they don't spend too much time together. He goes to work, he's 70-80% of his day goes into work, into his purpose, into exercising, helping other people, into doing things that a man should do. And then when he comes home, he gets that 10 or 15% to spend time with his family or with his woman, which is the time that should be spent with the woman. So rule number 6 is to stay polarized with her and don't get too friendly. When you speak to the girl you like, you should do it with full presence and full intimacy while you're doing it. If you see that a girl is not interested into the intimacy that you're providing, just move on. Don't text her. Like, don't feed her ego. I understand you might say, oh well, I can just be her friend, I can talk about things because she sometimes responds to me, but that doesn't mean that she's interested. You can be friends, but you don't really want to be her friend. Like, when I ask you honestly and openly, you might say, I like to be friends, but deep down you don't like to be her friend. By being polarized, I mean that the time, I also mentioned this, the time that you spend with the girl, you should try to be bold, create sexual tension, be a little intimate. It's fine with a few friendly conversations, but if you get too friendly, then she basically will think of you as a friend, and that's what you don't want. Especially if you're in a relationship, even if you have a wife. What you're seeing nowadays is like people at 35, 40, 50 getting divorced. Why? Because those men are getting too lazy. They're getting too friendly with their woman. They're putting many manly duties onto the woman that they should do themselves. For example, you want to mow the lawn. Your wife tells you, hey, you should do it. And a lot of men would get aggravated and mad and angry, and not show love to her. And basically, she's like, hey, you should do that because the grass is getting a little tall. And then you say, oh, fine, I'll do it tomorrow. And then she says like, yeah, that's fine. And then tomorrow you don't do it. And then you don't do it in 2 weeks or maybe a week. Let's say a week. You don't do it in a week. You're not doing your manly duties, and she has to tell you to do your manly duties, and you're the man. You're basically the head of the family. So to go on to the last rule that I have is the rule number 7, and it is to not be too persistent and annoying. Imagine you found a girl who maybe even took interest in you, and now you text her every day for like the past week, and there's some intimacy, but suddenly she starts pulling away and you notice it, but you don't know why. So you've been too persistent. When you're too persistent, you push her away on your own. If you're seeking attention all the time, she'll feel like you're a child. Her pulling away, there's two choices you can make. You either stay friends with her and then you send her memes, you say, I don't know, funny jokes, and then force her to laugh, and then think that this is going to get you somewhere, and no, it isn't. And the second option is to distance yourself. Just go, just leave. There's like a girl that you liked and she friend zone you, just go, just disappear. I'm not saying like unfollow her on all social media. I'm saying just don't talk to her, don't make a presence for, I don't know, a few months. Go work on yourself, go do something that is going to make you a better man, and then when you come back, that girl is certainly going to text you, or maybe you're going to see her somewhere in public, and the dynamic of the conversation is going to be completely different. It will not be like, oh, we're friends. It's gonna be like complete strangers, and then you're gonna start from the beginning. Obviously, maybe this is what you want right now, right after you've been friend zoned, but after like a few months, you're gonna figure out that this is not what you really want. You don't want to be with this woman, even though like she now wants to talk to you and wants to go out or something. You realize that this isn't what you really want, and you can actually go out with her or something, and then you're figuring out like, I don't really like this, and then she might even get attached to you because you don't want her. And that's how the female brain works. It's just weird. Women love people who kind of ignore them, like not straight out ignore them, but sometimes, like when you're nice to her but you still sometimes ignore her and push her away, like they find that so attractive for some reason. So basically, people say you have to be all friendly and complimenty with girls and give them the credit and glory, like to make them feel super duper happy, and she'll love you and you'll get laid totally. Always be present to her. And the truth is, you can't talk to a girl like you would talk to your homeboys. You can't always be present, because if you are, then you're just a dude she'll use for notifications. She may never ever want to see you, but she gets that dopamine when she has like, I don't know, on her Snapchat or Instagram, when she has like a number 10 or number 20 or something like that. So basically, she has 10 or 20 DMs right now. Truth is that almost every single girl at your age has either 10 or more DMs right now unopened at all times. Do you really want to be that one notification that's just standing there for no reason? Like, imagine you're a guy and all you need is one sentence to get laid, and then you send a message to that woman, and she's like, she wants to get down like with you, and then you go somewhere, and then after you whatever, you look at her phone and you take it and you see a bunch of notifications, and you see a bunch of dudes like saying shit. You open Snapchat and you see maybe that she has like, I don't know, a snap score with a dude that is like 40 days long, and then you ask her and she says like, oh, that's like literally nobody, like he tries to get with me every day and I just say no. For 40 days this guy has been asking to go out with her and she just says no. 40 days on Snapchat, 40 snap score is basically sending pictures of yourself back and forth for 40 days, and this guy doesn't even see her in public. And there's a dude who all he needs is one sentence, and then he gets laid once a week. He doesn't need anything else. Which one would you prefer? Honestly, which one would you prefer? So do the hard work.